The president of the Africa Development Bank, Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, is saying that we can't keep importing cars into Nigeria, into Africa. Instead, we need to start making them ourselves. Adesina made these comments after visiting the Saglev car assembly plant in Imota here in Lagos. Saglev makes electric vehicles, or e-vehicles, and cars that are climate conscious are part of the bank's major efforts to support sustainable industrial leadership. Adesina says that African manufacturers, like the ones you see here, need power. They need infrastructure to be able to lower the cost of production. Even related to that, electric vehicles require power to charge. Earlier, the assembly plant also hosted the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Dr. Jumoke Oduwole, who also pledged the federal government support for the plant. And from the car industry, let's also now go to a story on the textile industry, with the federal government saying they plan to revive it. Just a few days ago, the Minister of State for Industry, Trade and Investment, John Eno, along with the MD of the Bank of Industry, Dr. Olashupa Olusi, toured two major textile hubs, United Nigerian Textiles Limited and Shellco Industries. So during the tour, they were received by the Emir of Kano, His Royal Highness Sanusi Lamido, who was also the chairman of UNTL. The Emir spoke about how UNTL was once upon a time a key player in Nigeria's manufacturing sector, until the factory had to stop operating a few years ago. In a post on X, Minister Eno says that during the tour, the Emir of Kano decried the shutdown of a once thriving factory in 2022, citing economic difficulties despite its track record of employing over 10,000 people across the value chain. So they also toured Shellco, and this is a textile company that's still in operation. They employ almost 300 workers. And big picture, in the 90s, the textile industry here in Nigeria was a major driver of the economy, created jobs for, hundreds of thousands of people. So, whether we're talking about cars, we're talking about textiles, it feels like if we decide to revive either of these industries, it's something that's going to take a lot of intentionality from the government, because they could produce great results, but it takes a lot to kind of bring them up to speed. Rufai, I'll start with you.
All of this is tied to the economy. I just hope I get the time. I hear what President Adesina is saying. It's not today Nigeria started assembling or making cars. Nigeria started making cars. There were some assemblage plants of some Bedford trucks way back the late 50s, even before independence came. These were some of the trucks that were assembled. There was Leland, some of the buses and trucks and things like that. But when we started the industrialization decree and we're industrializing the first industrial plant, second industrial plant of the 70s, the Nigerian government even went ahead to partner with Peugeot Automobile. And we had Peugeot Automobile of Nigeria, PAN. We had the plant in Kaduna. We also went ahead to partner with Volkswagen. There's a place in Lagos called Volks Bus Stop till today. That was where the Volkswagen factory is. Have you ever wondered why most of the Danfo buses in Lagos are Volkswagens? It's because we're making them here. The popular Faragon that they drive on the streets. We had an economy. People could buy a brand new car for 1,000 or 2,000 naira. Volkswagen was minting out Beetle cars. The economy was sustainable, it was viable. In the 70s, Yakubu Gowon did talk about the problem not being money, but how to spend it. I know Nigeria wasted that money. It was a viable economy. People would go buy brand new cars. But when the economy started to falter in the 80s, things got worse for people. The faltering of the economy in the 80s also segued into what happened to the textile factories. The textile factories in the 80s, we had a lot of them. We had the likes of, what's it called, Sokas in Ayekwe, UNTL in the Jos, Bompai in Kano used to be known as a real industrial hub. But when the economy started to falter, we had problems in 83, import licensing, corruption, led to devaluation of the currency. Most of these companies shut down. So because of that, we now resorted to importation. In the 70s, Nigeria was producing. Let me even shock you. Nigeria was making refrigerators. Adebowale Electronics. I used a Debo fridge, green in color.
You told me about it.
Debo, made in Nigeria refrigerator. So when I see Adebowale today being a hub for selling imported electronics, I look, I say, who did this to Nigeria? But we didn't support our own homegrown businesses. Importation of cheaper models started to come in. And that's where we are today. Nigeria does not need to reinvent. We've already been at the height, an appreciable height in the 70s. What we need now are policies. The policies will have to look for a way to put money in people's pockets. Because you see, if you produce locally and you don't have spending power of people, how are people going to purchase these goods and services? Because the Chinese, obviously, because their government have made it easier for them to produce, they will outpace you in the market by bringing in cheaper models. So, congratulations to the like of Saglev, my very good friend and brother. But the question is, the viability of how many Nigerians can afford a new EV will set you. I drive a brand new made in Nigeria car. A new EV will set you back a lot. That's why we also talk about the economy. How many people have the capacity to be able to take those loans? So that's the holistic problem with the Nigerian economy. It's not today it started, but I believe we can fix it. We need to look inwards.
Absolutely.